The museum. Yes, that's right, today we are going to start by talking about one of my favorite features, that is the museum. While playing, I have been told many times that to unlock and access some parts in the hub, I should first reach a museum milestone. But as a new player, what even is that? The only thing that kinda looks like a museum in the hub is the auction house, and that's it. So after some research, I reached the conclusion that the museum is not even in the main village. When we go on the pathway to the forest, at right we have the graveyard that we saw on the last episode, and in the left we have a pathway. In this pathway we have like a castle that is for another episode, but if we keep going, we will reach a nice building. This building is technically inside that big mountain in the hub, so it's a new zone for us, but if we enter the building, we finally discovered the museum. Why something so cool is so far away from the village, I don't know. When we enter, we can talk to this madam that basically explains us the museum. And after all the talking, we can access this menu, and in this chest we can check our progress towards the museum milestone that was required by so many NPCs at the hub. We can also check the rewards by achieving a new museum milestone. But now the main question is, how can we level up our museum level or milestone? Well, the answer for that is collections that I absolutely love. During this series I have been keeping track of a bunch of collections because that's how I have fun. When I play a video game, I don't care about being the strongest, I care about making all the achievements, like completing and understanding all features in a game. For example, in Steam I have thousands of hours and thousands of achievements in multiple video games. And if I am not playing Minecraft, I am probably playing another game, like right now I am trying to make 100% of Kingdom Come Deliverance. In this series, I have been keeping track of like all collections, all of the minions, all of the pets, all of the reforged stones, all of the garden pests and many more stuff because I want to make 100% of the garden. And while doing it, I am recording and explaining everything to YouTube. If you're curious, there is a neat playlist. And the museum is exactly that. The objective is to have all of the weapons in game, all of the armors in game, all of the items in general. But before I start updating the collection, let's just explore a little more of the museum. If we go down these stairs, in the middle there will be myself. For some reason my skin did not load, and at right we have the curator that just tells you that the museum is cool. So I'm guessing that when we add our first items to the museum, they will be shown in display, and we are going to check that soon. Can we just appreciate how good this looks for a building in such a Minecraft old version? As a builder myself, I know how hard it is to build cool stuff with so many weird restrictions because of the Minecraft version. The other rooms around it are the same, but have more space for more items display because the full collection is huge. But let's go back to that woman because I want to start doing the collections with the items that we already have. If you have seen the other videos, you know that I have already collected a bunch of armors, and some of them are already useless because I managed to get a better one. Apparently the old items are not useless anymore because we can put them in the museum. For example, to place my old farming armor, I just need to press it and accept, and it's done. Now this armor is in the museum. And after quickly put all of our old armor in the museum, I could also check the names of the ones that we still did not craft. If I wanted to use any of these armors again, I just need to press it and it will go to my inventory while being completed in the menu, so pretty cool. Another cool detail that I noticed is that we can see the value of the items. Then I spent some minutes trying to figure out all of the items that I could put in the museum, pretty much everything except vanilla Minecraft items. And at the end, I just had to remove everything that I was still using, and that's basically everything. That's the museum for you. Actually, there is a small catch. When we add any item to the museum, it means the item is ours forever. A tag will appear on the item telling Soulbound. This means that any item that I place in the museum cannot be sold or cannot be traded unless if you are playing on co-op with someone. In my case, I'm playing on hardcore or Iron Man difficulty, so this is not an issue at all because I cannot trade or sell anything already. A cool thing that we can check now is our top items in value. In my case, my best items are worth 1 million and something. And going down the stairs again, we can check the items we added to the museum are in display, and as a massive collector, this is awesome. For example, I can see both my old and new combat armor, it's so cool. And after adding all of these items, we didn't even reach a milestone level 1. I think our items are very weak because it's just starter items. But yeah, that is also a way to keep track of our progress. And now we also have a place to put all of the items that we get in this series. But for the rest of this episode, let's just explore the hub. We have so many things to check. This is our progress map for now. That was the museum, and we are now at south of the island. At the most south point of the entire entire hub island there was an awesome looking gate, but this is probably for a future update. Going towards the mountain there is a cave that will lead us directly to the center of the village that we have been exploring throughout this series. And this is the massive mountain that is in the middle of the hub island and technically is the house of the museum. In the front of the mountain, I found Emilia that sold items related to personal island cosmetics and minigames that I can do for you guys, that we can buy if we upgrade our social skill level enough. And how do I upgrade this skill level? Well, you guys need to visit my island with a simple command, it's just that. And close to this place in a hot air balloon, there is a guide that is a shortcut to visit other people's island. In here, we can see the most visited islands in Hypixel, and it normally belongs to the most famous YouTuber, so of course it's not me. In this place of the mountain there is also a portal to a place called a dungeon that is for a future video and is a very important thing in this game. Going back to the central area, in this series we visited everything already except the houses in the direction of the mountain, and that's exactly what we are going to do next. The first house is the fashion shop that you buy with real life money cosmetics for the game, like everything that costs gems means it's real life money. Lucky for us, nothing of this counts for any collection. Oh yes, and there is the tailor that basically is like the shop and shows everything that is selling right now. As you know, I'm extremely poor and I have zero addiction to gambling, so yeah. On the lower level there was Seymour, that really looks like Sanji from One Piece. He was selling tuxedos like armors. They are not really strong overall, it's just for collection and flex. I bet they look awesome on me. And of course they are extremely expensive. So that's a thing for a far future. First building completed. Let's go now to the next one. The next house is the Carpenter building, that is basically the quest that we need to do right now. Talking to him, he wanted me to bring him a stack of white wool. In this series we still did not find any sheep, so I went to the builder's house that we explored in a previous episode and I bought a bunch of wool from this guy. This quest for us unlocked the carpentry table. Before crafting that, I went to the lower level and it was a furniture shop. I was not expecting this because everything here is so cheap and it looks really cool. There was also the apprentice that told us some obvious info. Of course I had also to buy some of these awesome looking structures. And now we can finally place that. Why? What is the carpentry skill level? Apparently there is also a skill level related to crafting. The more items we craft, the more we progress on this skill. For curiosity, I crafted the carpentry table that we unlocked, placed it on the ground looking like a cool table, discovering that we can also craft a bunch of other furniture items instead of buying them in the furniture shop. Ahaha, the furniture requires VIP to craft. As you know, in Hypixel you can buy ranks like VIP, VIP Plus, MVP, MVP Plus and MVP Plus Plus, costing real life money. Why does everything related to cosmetics or furniture requires real life money? It's so annoying. As a builder, I was actually excited about those. Oh, and by the way, there is also YouTube rank that you receive if you have 30k subs on YouTube. That is better than all of these ranks. But we are so close but so far away yet. Let's just keep exploring the hub. So we explored every house on the left and now it's time for the house that is on the right. And this was the flower house. In here there was Marco that gave me the quest to pick 5 poppies from this garden. This was really easy, I just had to pick like the red flowers from the front of his house, and in exchange he gave me a spray can. Why do I need this? If we go to this portal, we go to a big room where we can make a huge painting. Wow, this is cool. As soon as I entered, I just glitched the painting by putting a block in a place that it shouldn't be. As expected, I am a huge artist and that's it. I think we have done all the quests that we had to do in this place. Well, at the end of this pathway in the front of the mountain, there was a hole at the mountain. In this place there was carrots and bunnies. What the hell? There was the rabbit house with a bunch of bunnies. In total, there was a total of 8 weird rabbits, and in between a rabbit dog. I really don't know how genetics works here. And this cave was just carrots and a bunch of rabbits and houses. I think all of this rabbit stuff is for a future episode because this is an event. And at the end of the cave we have a lake, and this is basically the part that will lead to the museum. Well, remember the back entrance in the mountain? Well, there is also a pathway to go to the top. Oh wow, from here we can already see the main area of the hub where we always spawn and we have been exploring throughout this series. Very close to the top there is a balcony if you want to commit suicide. Just kidding, in here we had to make some parkour to reach house that was really at the top. In here there was Scoop that sold us a snow shovel that could spawn snow. What? I will try this later. And going to the top of the entire mountain there was a weird thing that I had no idea why it was there. But we officially reached the highest point of the entire map, and now we just need to go down. Going back at home, I just tried the snow shovel, and yeah, it just spawned snow. That's cool, I guess. And this is our exploration map, and we officially explored the entire mountain, and this is already a huge progress for today, but that is not enough. At the left of the fashion shop, there was still some houses to explore. We saw this house in a previous episode, but on the other side, there is the Taumaturgist. What does that even mean? In the outside, there was a villager called Moth Enjoyer that just put in chat like a formula. Yeah, we're gonna run away from this. On the inside, there was Jacobus. That was actually useful. In here, we can upgrade the space of our talisman bag in exchange for a bunch of coins. For now, we still have some space left, so it's not a big deal yet. There was also this girl that would buy reforged accessories. She explained that in the past that was a feature, so for us this is useless and it's not even worth understanding. And at the middle there was the most important person, Maxwell. So in this series we have been collecting talismans or accessories. As you know, each one will give us a permanent stat, so the more the better. Because that was not broken enough, in this place we could even boost more the stats. Technically, the more talismans we collect, the more magical power we have. And then we can choose a tag for us that give us some more permanent stats. As you can see, I can choose one of these ones, and in the future more will appear. I ended up choosing the Prepared tag because it got good stats in defense and the health part, giving us also a little more strength. I found it to be the most balanced attack according to all stats. And now in the menu we can see how much magical power we have with all of our accessories and then the tag with the stats that we have with it. And now what it's missing from exploring the hub is just the random houses that are in the back of the important buildings. Behind the pet shop and the farmhouse there is a house related to fishing. On the outside there was the fish merchant. As the name tells, he was selling fish and a fishing rod that I bought because I didn't have any. On the inside of that house there was Plumber Joe that just gave us a sponge. This sponge sounded more like a scam because of the instructions, but I still bought it. Then next to the house where we buy the empty bottles, there was Jim Bob that just talked about the farm and the farm minion next to it that we already explored in a previous episode. Oh yeah, and the house of the fish merchant and Plumber Joe had a lake around it. Makes sense, right? Then close to that lake there was Bobby Joe. A lot of Joes in these random houses, giving us info about a part of the hub that we will explore in a future episode. Then there was an empty house that still had a good looking interior. All of these houses are close to the farm for reference, and then I found another interesting location, the artist's house with Vincent van Gogh itself. I think. This guy explained a feature that is basically the rarest items that we can collect in this entire game. They are dice or buckets with colors, they are not needed for progress, but the odds of getting a single one are so low that you wouldn't believe it how stupid it is. For example, look at this one, the odds are 0.00002% of getting one, so 1 in 5 million emeralds that we mine. As you can guess, getting a single one of these is almost impossible, so collecting them all, it's just nuts. It's simple. I don't think anyone can do this in an Ironman profile at least. And close to that house there was the Colosseum, an area that is like a memorial for previous events. Right now it looks destroyed, but in the past it was a proper building, even amongst history. We pretty much explored every house except a little thing that I missed, that is basically the house for an anonymous. It just talked about something that we will unlock with the Emerald Collection in the future. And right now this is our exploration map. It seems that we explored more than half of the entire hub, and now I just need to take care of some little stuff. In between episodes I have been upgrading pets and now we have a silverfish legendary. The problem is that it's level 1. I want to have every pet maxed out, but to level them up I need to use them, but this one is not really good except for mining. Remember in a previous episode that this guy was locked because of the low skill level? Well, not anymore. In here we can level up pets in exchange for money and time without doing it manually. In here we can buy the Howl pet, and it's my biggest investment until now, costing above 2 million coins, but it will be very useful. To make a pet starting gaining XP, we should put first the Owl pet that has a skill that will reduce the amount of money that we need. Next we add the pet that we want to upgrade, the Silverfish, and then we tweak some options including the duration of the training and the amount of money that we want to spend during a specific time. In this case, after a full day of training, the pet will reach level 40 and we will spend this amount of coins. And then we start and we can see that the pet is already starting to gaining some XP. It's so cool just seeing the progress of the pet just training by itself. At the end of this video, I should just upgrade our collections, because I was killing pests, I unlocking the cocoa, mushroom and netherwort collections. We also completed some at 100%, but I will keep calm on these and explain them in the future. In the netherwort collection, we also unlocked like a new bag. That is a bag, like the accessory bag, that we can place potions, so it's not really useful for us, but it could be. Yeah, I think that's all for this video, so see you next week, bye! This episode was just for exploration and not progress, maybe a little boring, I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea what I will do for the next week, but we will see, so bye.